Happy Friday, everyone. So thank you so much for tuning in on our Friday and afternoon. Usually we have a time slot of about 10 a.m., but today we have one at 2 in the afternoon for Miranda Hits. So for episode 7, we have a guest from our ICDE program. Her name is Meeka Godoy, and I've been trying to convince her to have a YouTube channel, but hindi pa siya nag-yes. Pero if you watch her on Instagram, you see she cooks a lot, very passionate, and I'm very excited to cook with her and make a meatloaf sandwich. And of course, we had a sneaky wine beforehand. So, masaya ang hapon naming dalawa. I'll just welcome her to the virtual floor. Give me 1 second. Hi, Mika. Kamusta? Wait lang. Ayusin natin ang audio. Ito, yan.
Can you hear me na?
Yeah, perfect. Good afternoon. How are you?
Afternoon, ninenervyos ako.
Ay,
This is the first time I'm going live ever. Never ko
it's
na-try.
okay. We can have wine. I think it will relax us both.
Okay lang ba? It's beside me.
Okay lang yan. Wine and food go well together. So, I don't see any reason why we can't have a glass of wine and a Friday afternoon. Saka, public holiday naman.
Correct. It is holiday, kaya nga, di ba? Tama, sakto.
Sige.
Cheers.
Meron tayong konting wine, saka kape. So, how have you been since the lockdown?
Okay naman, we're good. Very fortunate kami that we live in a secured area. We live in a condo na they really practice safety measures.
Yeah.
And okay naman. Mas okay lalo since I started my business. Kasi I'm busy with it. So hindi ako naboboard.
I have seen this a lot in the past few months is people have started their own food business. So with yourself, I know you started Nina's Kitchen. Can you talk to us about it? Like why you started it, how you started?
Mina's Kitchen started pa talaga yung mismong idea way back 2018. I think everyone naman at CCA knows why it's called Mina's. It's named after my daughter. She passed away in 2018. It's the reason why I'm in culinary school actually. So ayun, in-start ko siya ng 2018 pero hindi ko masyadong natuloy kasi feeling ko kulang pa ako sa skills. That's why I decided to enter CCA.
Yeah. I think it's admirable when people do enter culinary school coming from the heart, especially with losing a child. I think that's the hardest thing. And it's amazing that you are taking in another skill and making the most out of that. And, when you do something from the heart, it does become a lot better, and the business is a natural, authentic fit.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, so today I do have a particular product with us, but before we talk about this, I want to ask you about your experience with ICDE program. I know you started with that before the lockdown. What is it that you've learned in the program itself?
Okay, first of all, in general, entering CCA was my saving grace. Super happy ako sa school. Everyone there was so welcoming and super nice. And particularly doon naman sa program namin, I learned a lot of techniques. Although nakafocus kami sa French cuisine, yung mga natutunan namin from Chef Jeff and Chef Maan, it's really applicable even in everyday cooking. So ayun, the techniques talaga, that's what I'm really proud of. Sabihin na I've learned a lot in my classmates.
I know I've seen it like with the way you cook. My favorite video of yours is what were you making? And then you compared it to beef caldereta.
Beef bourguignon. Yeah.
I thought that was really approachable because with us in CCA, we always try to make it approachable, not intimidating, because people should not be scared of the kitchen. They should be careful but everything is relatable. So from caldereta to beef bourguignon, there's a lot to learn, right?
Mm. In some ways, di ba, it's really similar. Ang
Yeah.
pinagkaiba lang may wine. So, meron onting parang depth yung flavor ng bourguignon compared to our caldereta. But it's both stews. So, ayun.
We have a few people that have joined in. You have actually 54 people watching you. Baka mas ininervous ka pa.
Yung mga family and friends ko, they're very supportive. I think
Nako,
everyone is here.
so sorry everyone for the delay. Medyo nagka-tech. This is my 7th episode for Kitchen Stories. But every time, may nangyayari talaga. So let's greet everyone that has joined in. So Bambi Dio, Go Meeka. I think she's your doctor, right?
One of my OBGYN.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hello.
Doc.
Kailangan ko rin yata niyan.
That is a
And then TCHR Lucy, good day. And then you have Roma Fe Mendoza, go, 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 Meeks. Pretty sure Mina is smiling because of your hard work. Love you, kaya idol ka na ni Ziera and Kimi. Yan. Marami kang fans.
Those are family and friends. Sabi ko nga sa kanila, I'm making a sandwich ha.
Yeah.
Are you sure you wanna watch talaga? Sabi nila, sige daw, they want to support me daw.
You know what? Sandwiches for
Sandwich.
me are very comforting, and there's a different, you can play around with it. And sometimes when you go outside, you get a soggy sandwich, you get a sandwich that's too rich, or it's just cheese and ham, or ham, cheese,
Right.
tomato. Parang wala siyang creativity. Or, the never dying clubhouse sandwich.
Mm.
What's your favorite sandwich, if I may ask?
So, ang favorite sandwich ko, tuna sandwich. Boring, no?
Okay.
Pero
No,
tuna with egg mayo. Tuna with
mahilig din
egg
ako sa
mayo is
tuna.
my comfort, go-to sandwich.
Okay. How do you make your tuna sandwich? So just egg and mayo.
Egg and mayo, tapos yung my onions that I use that I use with it is dapat yung onion natin yung purple, yung Tagalog.
Yeah.
Because gusto ko yung may onti siyang parang spiciness sa may crunch.
Yeah.
Ganon. Tapos madami talaga. Mayo dapat talaga Kewpie. Napaka-loyal ko sa
Same.
Kewpie. Ayoko ng iba. Siguro second yung Hellmann's. Tapos
Yeah.
I put some sriracha and then yung egg dapat medyo yung yolk is soft-boiled.
Wow. So how is your household considering that you're at home cooking for them all the time?
They're very happy and they're very fat. Katulad ko. sobrang chubby na namin lahat, especially now that we're at home. I'm always cooking, I'm always baking. Tapos sila yung taga-taste test ko.
Yeah.
Ayun, they're just very supportive.
I think it's important to be healthy, right? So, okay na rin yun. Healthy and a lot of nutrients in your body through food. So, may mga nag-join pa. 52 na tayo dito. Watching from Taiwan, Ellen Lim. Kilala mo ba to?
Who's that, baby? Hindi ko alam.
It's quite nice, Mika, because every time we do this, we reach out to people from Dubai, Japan, and were you always comfortable with cooking, or did you get intimidated by it in the beginning?
I'm always comfortable with cooking because I grew up with my lolas who always cooks talaga in different ways. Pero
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable cooking in front of other people yet. I'm trying
Okay.
to work on that. Medyo nervyosa ako sa ganun. Even at school,
Mm.
natatawa si Chef Jeff. He will come to my station and then parang he wants to watch me make the dish. My hands will shake talaga. He's going to tell me na, please have more confidence. Stop asking me if everything is right every single time. So, ayun, that's me. Hindi lang
Yeah.
halata, pero that's me.
Don't worry. I think it's a common thing. Even when we started this, I started with just interviewing, but people really wanted to learn something, even with the mistakes. My first demo with another graduate of CCA was frosting a cake. Hindi ako, lumalayo ako sa cake. Kasi
Parang fragile, no?
yeah, and my mom bakes, my sister bakes, so I just prefer na sila na lang.
Behind the
Um,
scenes ka, Mr.
So the first time I frosted a cake, I was so nervous, like being on TV, right? But I saw that people could relate to it. So don't worry, I am sure Now we have 70 people watching. You can watch us make mistakes. Okay lang yan. And kung may tips rin kayo dyan, okay then. And if you guys want to drink wine with us or coffee or tea, please, you're welcome to do so. Eto, may mga nanonood from Fatima. Sorry, hindi ko po alam yan. Saan ba yan?
Saan?
Uh, may nagsabi na your baked sushi is the best also.
Thank you.
Ayan. Burgundy and baked sushi combination. O sige. Nako. Nakakatawa naman to. O mga 80 na tayo dito. So, what are you making for us today? And then I will transfer to the other kitchen.
Okay, we're going to make my version of a meatloaf sandwich.
Okay.
Ngayon, kunin ko muna yung meatloaf sa fridge because I prefer it. Paulit-ulit ko lagi sinasabi sa Insta story, I want it cold talaga. Para sa
Okay.
it's best tasting.
Yeah. So, sige, hintayin natin. Habang naghintay tayo, baka gusto nyo magtanong dyan for Mika or about CCA or about meatloaf, kahit ano. So, before we go into the sandwich making, I do want to show you what the product looks like. I don't know. Can you hear me well? Medyo umuulan dito. So, this is what it looks like, and it's called the Everlasting Loaf. Can you tell me why you called it the Everlasting Loaf?
The first time that I tasted that was in Marikina. They
Okay.
call it everlasting talaga. It was in a lanyera, in Leche Flan.
Mhm.
But, so nung ginawa ko yan, kasi I really want to make my own version. So sabi ko, everlasting. Parang, ang corny ko pa, the first name that I gave it was Mina's Everlasting Love.
Okay.
But sabi ko, di nila maintindihan what's love. She said love.
Ayan.
So nilagay ko loaf na lang since it's in a loaf pan.
Yeah. So there you go. But may surprise to it. Titingnan natin mamaya, 'di ba?
Okay.
Yeah. So before we jump into prepping, may mga taong sumali. We're like 70 already. I've got si Raymark is watching you. Nako.
Raymond, I miss you.
Nasa Mindoro siya ngayon. Nami-miss
Mark,
ko na
magpan
siya.
tayo.
O sige, mag-cheers na lang tayo for Raymark. Nako.
Inom talaga kami dito sa interview.
Kasi nervous rin ako sa tech difficulty kanina. Saka napahiya ako kay Mika kasi 7th episode na natin to. Eto, may mga tanong tayo. Benedict Baladad, who is our graduate of our Decatam program, I believe, what is the secret for business na maging sustainable?
Oh my God, ang hirap naman ng tanong. Kaka-start ko lang, Sir Mr. Benedict. Grabe naman. Sustainable.
Ano
Balikan
kaya?
kita.
Oh,
I'll think about that first, ha?
yeah.
Ako, with consistency. Ako feeling ko pala, sorry. Consistency na lang muna yung sagot ko for that one. Pero I think I'll have a better answer siguro mamaya-maya. I'll think
Sige.
about it.
After mga 2 more wine glasses.
More wise, yeah. Pero I like that question kasi sandali lang.
Sige, pag-iisipan namin. O sige, lilipat na ako sa kitchen, but
Okay.
guys, kung maamoy nyo lang to, matutuwa kayo talaga. As in, sobrang, I don't know, I'm a big fan of meat cakes. Yung parang meat talaga siya, hindi sweet. So, napakasaya ko ngayon. So, Mika, maybe you can run through the ingredients you have in front of you while I transfer to the other kitchen.
Do I need to move the camera or...
Oh, I think it's fine. We can see.
Alright, okay.
Sige.
So what I have here are just your simple ingredients in making a sandwich. I have here a white bread. You can use any kind of bread you want. Sometimes I even use pandesal with this. So I also have pickles, Swiss cheese, but you can use whatever cheese you want. I secretly prefer quick milk pero naubusan ako so I have Swiss. And I have romaine lettuce para for the crunch. And my special ingredient here, hindi ko na napakita how I made this, but this is really good. It's called bacon jam. Okay. But if you want to know how I made this is just bacon sauteed with lots and lots of onion, brown sugar, a little bit of cinnamon and cayenne, and that's it. And I also have sriracha, cupay, Dijon, and butter for grilling the sandwich. That's it. Para siyang nawala si nawala. So ayun.
Is she
Can
asking?
you see me? You guys are seeing me
Yeah,
right now.
I can see you.
Alright.
Is she asking to
And of course yung meatloaf.
Yeah. The
Meatloaf.
ingredients of meatloaf.
Ayan, nandito na ako.
Okay.
Hi, nakikita niyo ako?
Yes, Bea.
Perfect. Live na ba tayo?
Nasabi ko ba the ingredients? Di ba nasabi ko?
Yes, but the meatloaf's ingredients you didn't say.
No.
Okay.
Ano lang.
Mika, who's there with you today?
My mom. Stage
Oh,
mom
can
siya.
we invite her to the kitchen kung hindi
Mami,
siya
come
nahihiya?
here. I'll introduce you. Sige na, nahiya din siya na sobra. Saglit lang. And my husband is here also.
Hello, pasok kayo sa
Hi.
screen.
Just say hi. Ma, this is my husband, Ken.
Inom na lang
Sobrang,
kayo.
sobrang stage family sila. Nandito sila lahat.
Oh my God.
This is Miss Bea. This is my mom.
Hi! Hello po!
Parang nandito
Kamusta?
na siya, Miss Bea, nung dinner.
Oo nga po. Hello! Thank you for watching.
And my
Joining actually.
Wait, kasan ka?
Buong pamilya. Alam mo, you guys are a good-looking couple. Parang palagi kayong nandito.
Thank you.
Ano yung secret niyo sa relationship? Okay, nag-relationship ano na tayo dito.
Lots and lots of patience.
Patience, okay. On both ends, di ba?
On both ends.
Sana makahanap ako ng ganyan.
Bakit? Ikaw pa ba? Grabe.
Okay. So, while we're making a sandwich, maybe your husband can help us with the questions. Since hindi ko pa na-master ang pagbabasa ng Facebook at nagluluto.
The question.
Okay lang ba?
Okay daw.
Okay, may questions ba tayo so far? Kasi kukuha ko ng wine.
Wala pa naman daw, Miss Bea.
Meron tinanong yata si Benedict ba yun? May second question siya eh. About sustainable business. Meron siyang isa eh. How do you have stable na income from like a home business?
Paano daw nagkakaroon ng, stable income from a
Income.
home business?
Yeah.
We have to, may sabi mom ko, yes?
You continue. Just continue.
Sabi niya,
Don't stop.
just parang katulad ng sinabi niya daw kanina, just be consistent and never stop daw. And of course, yung husband ko naman always reminds me to take notes dun sa mga budget and expenses na ginagamit para to make sure that may pumapasok talaga na income. Tama yun, buti he's here. Kasi kung ako lang, parang laging pamigay eh. Parang paminsan parang hindi ko talaga na-notice yung kung magkano na yung expenses ko or kung magkano na yung nagagastos ko sa sinasell ko na product. Pero with their help, talagang tinuturuan nila ako that to make sure na every single thing that goes into my food is noted or recorded. Ayun.
Yeah, that's my advice too. Like, I think people love to give freebies, and although the restaurant or food business is a lot about relationship with customers, do try to avoid giving too much freebies or discounts. I think if your product is good, you don't need to do that. And I don't know if you've read recently, there's a lot of food bloggers that they were caught having like time scamming some restaurant owners or food businesses and trying to get a freebie. Especially now, support local businesses. Kasi nga, like, it's not easy to give things for free. Siguro pag sampling or pag nag-R&D, pwede yun, di ba?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did that with my idol, si Miss Grace Baha. Actually, she's the only one that I've sent my first dishes to. And she
Yeah.
gave me some comments with it. Yun naman yung maganda. Pero totoo yun, Miss Bea, a few people message me na nanghihingi sila ng mga free stuff because they have a lot of following or whatsoever yun.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to show really up close what the everlasting meatloaf looks like. This is quite beautiful. It's like the focaccia ba yun? Yung parang garden focaccia. Have you seen that? So it's just nice to see, meatloaves are very brown, and when you crack into it or break into it, there's an egg or, you see a few things in there. But this one is nice because it does kind of brighten up your day.
The flour.
Maganda siyang pang-display. And I think you're right. You cook with the heart, and I'm sure your daughter, Mina, does remember, like, see that. So, okay, so you've shown your ingredients. I don't have the exact same things, but I kind of did my preparation here, as I know sometimes some of the faculty are watching me. I've got two kinds of bread. I've got an olive bread and then whole wheat bread. I've got some cheese, pickled onions, and then a couple other things. And I've got, yesterday kasi dapat pupunta ako sa party, so gumawa ako ng bean dip, saka guacamole, kaso lang, hindi ako nakapunta. So, yan. Nagtira-tira. Sige, let's start. So, what are we gonna do, Mika, first?
Okay, first, include ko na rin to kasi lagi nila tinatanong nasan daw yung design ng meatloaf. So
Sige.
first, get a plate or a board or whatever, flip it over, and then ayan na siya. You're ready to slice. Okay, so
Huwag muna akong wine. Sige, go lang.
alright. So, make sure na yung meatloaf nyo before you use it for your sandwich. Galing siya sa fridge para medyo firm siya talaga at hindi siya mag-crumble as much. So, wait lang. Maya ko na siya hiwain.
Wash your hands, by the way.
By the way, I already washed my hands kanina twice. For this. And para sa akin yung sandwich, so I'm going with my bare hands. Pero pag para sa iba, I have my gloves here. All the time, pwede ko prep ng food. Para di magalit si Chef Chef Jeff. So, ayun. I'm using white bread here. Yun muna yung gagawin natin.
Okay, let's do.
The first thing I do is I spread the mayo.
Do I toast it or no?
Mamaya pa. I toast it pag ano na siya, talagang gawa na siya. And then I
Okay.
on
Sige.
the skillet. So, ayun, wait lang. Bago to eh.
Okay, instead of mayo, I will do mustard.
Okay, paminsan I do the other slice of bread, I spread it with mayo. And then the other one with mustard. I prefer Dijon mustard. Kaysa doon sa yung parang sa, nakikita sa grocery, yung super yellow one. Mas gusto ko yung flavor nito. Okay, so, Dijon mustard. The other slice of bread. Di lang halata pero nanginginig ako, pero sandwich lang to.
Don't worry, ako rin. Palagi, every week, honestly, nanginginig ako sa ganito. Kasi it's so, we're all at home. And usually I have people helping me out with the tech stuff. So, but today, kinakaya.
And ako talaga, I don't really prepare food in front of people.
Oh.
Right now,
Kunyari walang tao dito.
yun na nga, I'm trying to imagine that it's just you on the other side of the screen. Okay.
May questions ba tayo dyan?
May question ba, babe? So, maglalagay na ako ng cheese. Ngayon na.
Okay.
Ito na to here. And then, saka ko isusunod yung meatloaf. Pag nag-slice kayo ng meatloaf, make sure na thick yung slice na kunin nyo para malasahan talaga yung meatloaf because meron pa tayo ilalagay na isang flavorful component which is the Newton jam. Kaya you want the meatloaf to stand out kasi hindi dito. So, we're going to probably use 3 slices because special tong araw na to. Okay.
Oh, that's a big one.
And 3.
Wow.
Ganun ka-thick. Ganyan kami kumain ng sandwich kasi American levels. And then next, I'm going to put na the jam. Okay, nalagay ko na yung bacon jam. Wala namang rules. Para sa akin, wala namang rules para kung ano gusto mong gawin sa sandwich mo or kung anong pagkakasunod-sunod. Just as long as you make the perfect bite. I always talk about the perfect bite kasi I believe in the perfect bite.
Yeah.
Parang dapat may component na salty, a little tart, a little sweet, a little crunchy. Parang kumpleto dapat siya.
Okay, so instead of bacon jam, I do have this really red capsicum and chili jelly. Is that fine?
Yes,
Okay
medyo
naman.
matamis ba yan, Miss Bea?
Meron may kick siya. So, meron siyang kick.
So yan yung sweet component mo dyan
Yeah.
sa ano. Okay.
Okay.
And then,
And then you put pickles. Okay.
I put the pickles na apat because I love pickles. Kasi sa akin to. Pero again, if you don't like pickles, then don't put pickles. Tapos I'm going to put the lettuce on top. Okay, tanggalin ko muna yun para maganda. And then another slice of cheese. Kahit anong cheese actually, hindi kailangan na bougie yung cheese na parang like this ring. Pwede naman quick melt. Ito lang talaga yung meron ako right now.
Maraming mahilig sa quick melt, if I must say.
Masarap siya eh. Saka ang ganda talaga ng ano niya, melting
Sige.
consistency. If that's what you call it.
Oh, and lettuce. Okay, that's right. That's what I don't have. Wait.
Then, tapos habang ready na to, edit ko lang yung skillet. Edit ko lang to. Ready na. Hindi nakikita yung skillet. Okay lang ba yun? Or pwede
Okay lang. I've got something here so we can show.
Okay.
Basically, you'll toast it in the skillet. Okay.
Then I'll put a little butter on the skillet and then I'll put it.
I have some.
Para mas may flavor.
And I have a tiny reminder that says enjoy.
Hindi pwede absent yung butter. So hindi ako nakikita here, babe. Ah, talaga? Galing mo ah.
But yung
Okay lang.
So,
Nakikita nyo lang medyo.
how many minutes do you put it in the skillet?
I eyeball it. May
Okay.
konti na parang medyo nagbabrown na siya sa gilid and then I flip it over. About a minute or two. Pwede.
Guys, I heard from one of there was a master class on Mexican cuisine, and she was saying just watch when you're learning, just watch your food. Don't try to do too many things at once. So that way you can have a feel. If let's say for me, like I'm not culinary trained, like I have no formal background, but watching it allows you to lessen your mistakes because you're observing food. Rather than trying to watch TV, making tea, chikahan, you don't get to see what happens to the food, right?
Yes. You really need to observe it. Eh. Meron din mga sounds, di ba, na parang
Uh,
you get familiar with. And then when
Yeah.
the oil is ready.
or for example, checking if your skillet is hot enough. I put a bit of water to see if it bubbles and or sizzles, and then you know it's hot enough. So basic things. I don't know. Maybe Chef Philip has tips there if he's watching.
Meron pa isang magandang trick, Miss Bea, na tinuro sa akin yung manang namin before. Like, nilalagay niya yung chopstick, yung wooden chopstick sa oil, tapos pag nagbubble, it means it's ready for frying.
I have seen this.
Naman.
Okay, game na.
Game na. So, dito na ako. I'm toasting it already. Dapat di ako mapaya. Dapat di siya sunog.
So for mine, I put the lettuce out because I prefer the lettuce like a bit crispier, but yeah. Oh, I didn't put. Did I put
Okay
enough
na yun.
pickles? Yeah. I'm excited for this. Gutom na ako. So guys, I will make another sandwich since we have time.
Kwento mo rin yun.
Okay, so ayan. Done.
There you go.
There you go.
My part.
Let's, I'm going to slice in between para makita natin yung cross section.
Okay.
Crossing my fingers here. Alright.
Where you cut it? Don't mention it anymore. There you go.
That looks so good. Are we making one sandwich today or two?
I can make another one. Kasi
Yeah,
nakakita
let's
ko
make one more.
it's made
It looks
one
so
at a time.
good.
So,
Do you have a taster? Who's gonna
yeah.
taste your sandwich?
No, you're gonna taste my sandwich. Come here. Kasi tart.
Okay, I'll make another one. We'll do it.
Go, go, go. Check mo kung masarap. I'll make another one.
What's your favorite dish that your wife has made? Or your part?
Uh, the beef burgundy.
Oh, the caldereta?
The caldereta with wine.
Taste ko na.
Favorite.
Go for it. You have to describe it to us.
Sarap? Masarap ba? Nananakot.
Sarap.
So delicious.
Very balanced.
Balanced yung bite. Is it the perfect bite, really?
Mm.
Because
Merong
pinahirapan ko siya.
gusto ko
Meeka, how many people are in your house again?
Right now, 6 kami dito. 2 kids.
6. Okay. Ang dami.
Yeah. My mom is visiting right now kasi nabalitaan niya na meron akong ano.
Ano? Ah, show!
Gano'n siya ka-supportive.
So, sobrang supportive ni mommy. Ganun ba?
Yes.
Mommy daw.
Si mommy nagluluto rin.
Yes, my mom cooks as well. Ang ano niya, ang dish na favorite namin is pochero.
Puchero! Okay. How do you guys do your puchero, if I may ask?
Iba the Cebu version, they don't use tomato sauce. So,
Yeah.
parang basically the same but with tomato sauce.
Okay.
So, with tomato sauce and pork and beans.
Yeah.
Yun. Pochero.
Okay, I think this is looking good. Almost there.
Should I make another one?
You decided if I told you to be that you don't want to eat rice.
What are we gonna make? What's the second sandwich?
Do you want me to make a plate naman with the meatloaf?
Oh yes, let's do that.
Here. I don't know if everyone is familiar with the IKEA's Swedish meatballs.
I think a few people are.
That's my favorite. Then, nung nakaraan lang I tried making it the same way with the same side dishes,
Yeah.
but my meatloaf. Okay na ba
Okay.
that? It's really
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Um,
Where is it?
I made the sauce last night already. So this is just your basic
Go ahead.
Yeah.
gravy made with beef broth, roux is buttered flour. Wow, yeah, baka hi, Chef Maan.
I hope they're watching you.
Hi,
You know
Chef.
what? I did forget to put a bit of salt. I love salt, so.
meatloaf, Miss Bea, syempre,
Kanin.
syempre may prefer talaga naman with kanin.
Ah,
Pero kung gagawin mo siyang bougie dahil may bisita ka,
yeah.
pwede nila ito i-try. Pwede nila ito i-try.
It's one thing I asked our guests, like, do they prefer rice, potato, bread? I think most people will say rice, especially in the Philippines.
Nothing beats rice. White rice, to be exact.
With ketchup. Okay, I think we're ready here. Okay, so far looks good.
I'm just making a plate na very similar to a Swedish meatball plate with all the components. Ay, it looks so good. May salad on the side, Miss Bea.
I should.
Yeah, parang may salad.
I think I have. Sige, gawa ako ng salad. Sige nga. Gawa tayo.
Kung may potato chips lang ako, yun yung side ko eh. Kaso wala eh.
Actually, meron akong potato chips, kaya yun na lang. Friday naman.
Dun sa original na Swedish meatball plate, ang
Yeah.
side, they originally use lingonberry sauce. But here in the Philippines, medyo mahirap makahanap nun. So we can substitute that with cranberry sauce, which is
Okay.
available lang naman sa groceries.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does the
Wait,
job.
I just noticed you piped your mashed potatoes really beautiful. How do you do that?
I'm just using this step. I forgot the number eh, pero
Hmm.
it's the only one I have here. I usually use this for cupcakes.
Yeah.
So ginamit ko lang para may onting something yung mashed potato. Pero hindi siya super plain.
So my question with Mina's kitchen products, what kind of food do you offer?
What do you mean? Ano kung ano siya, kung Filipino
Yeah,
lang?
what cuisine do you focus on, or what kind of products do you like to cook or sell?
I'd like to think mostly Filipino.
Okay.
Mostly, pero hindi naman yun lang. We're still open for other dishes. Ako lalo na kasi ang dami ko natutunan sa school, like yung beef burgundy, I want to offer that as well. Parang gusto ko din siya introduce sa ibang tao. But my focus sana is Filipino food with a
Okay.
twist.
Yeah. What's the best seller for your products?
A lot of people ordered beef burgundy. And
Oh,
my
wow.
may sinigang sa watermelon, and this one, yung meatloaf talaga yung may mga
Yeah.
repeat customers. Miss
Yeah.
Bea.
Oh, I'm excited to taste this. So I'm gonna move to the other camera, and then we can chat more about your business and your culinary journey. So yeah, I'll be back.
Is this base?
No, it's ongoing. Ongoing. Sinisheffonad ko lang itong parsley for garnishing. Shout out ulit kay Chef Jeff and Chef Maan for all these skills in making a plate a little more prettier than the normal plate. Yeah, tapos lagi nila
And
yes.
hello. There, I'm back.
Yeah.
Medyo napawisan ako dun sa kitchen. But we have a few questions here actually. Um, let's go back. Marami. Actually, people are very engaged today. Happy Friday sa inyong lahat. Okay. Actually, puro comments. Hello, yummy sandwich. Pa-fan sign daw. Pahingi po. We are watching now from Cavite also. Ano pang sinasabi ng mga tao dito? Hi, Ma'am Bea from Gel. Hello. Actually, puro hi lang. Walang nagtatanong. Gutom yata sila. Okay, maybe we can do a quick close-up of that dish. Can you show us the plate? It looks so pretty. Actually, this is something you can do for if you want to impress guests, right? Baka mommy wants to try.
Mami, oh my.
Siya naman mag-comment.
Saka hindi siya mahirap at gusto ko lang i-share kasi nakakatuwa dahil you can make your own mashed potato from scratch.
Yeah,
Pero available naman na siya sa groceries na naka-instant. Although, if you want to make it from scratch, madali lang din naman.
yeah.
And yung jelly is nabibili na siya in can.
Ayan na.
So, ayan, ito na yung mommy ko. Lumayan.
Unbiased po na comment.
Ano the products na i-release mo soon?
Yes, sabi. May question? Sino yan?
Si Jane Castaneda.
What products
Ang i-release mo
ang
soon?
i-release soon? Teka
Ano,
lang.
mommy? Kamusta? Mommy,
Actually,
kamusta?
this is one of the best combinations she did. There's sweetness,
Kasi
there's
mom,
this there's this carbohydrates which is potato, mashed potato, and of course the superstar meatloaf. There's a
napaka-mommy
vegetable.
nung sinabi
There's a
sa'yo.
vegetable in there.
Tuwang-tuwa naman ako sa mommy mo. Ang ganda ng, you know what? You sound unbiased po. Mukhang masarap.
According from my friends who bought it.
Yeah.
Thank
I'm
you.
just
Nag-shoutout
sharing
ka
with
pa,
you.
mami.
I think that's good. I mean, both of it looked really good. I made my sandwiches look really tasty, so I'm gonna have this after. I do want to go back to the question about sustainability of your business. When you were starting, were there headaches for you? Like, what are the biggest headaches?
Gusto ko yan. Gusto ko yung tanong. Nung nag-start kami kasi Miss Bea, sobrang na-realize ko na kulang pala ako sa space. Saka what I have in my kitchen are usually yung sizes, for example, ng pots and pans ko, hindi siya pang business, for home use.
Yeah.
So, di ba, I remembered I told you nung una mo ako tinanong to be in the interview, I told you na nagpahinga ako. So,
Yeah.
hindi mo na ako tumanggap ng orders. That happened kasi nung nag-start yung business, I got an overwhelming positive response naman sa overwhelming number of orders from family and friends. Eh, di ba, ang dami nila. Andyan sila ngayon lahat. So, parang nung nangyari yun, medyo nataranta ako, medyo na-overwhelm ako, tapos na-realize ko na yung kitchen ko parang hindi niya kaya yung ganun kadaming ginagawa, and parang nagkukulang ako sa container, sa manpower, sa space. So, yung nagpahinga ako, I collected my thoughts, and then I asked my mom and my husband for advice, and then sabi nga nila, we have to make a few adjustments. So, ayun, yung space talaga yung pinaka number one. And then, yung manpower. So, we solved that by uh, buying extra shelves and extra storages. We organized the kitchen
Yeah.
na parang more on for business na siya na set up rather than pang bahay lang. Ayun. And then with manpower, my mom frequents here to assist me. Yun.
Yeah.
Ganun yung ginawa namin.
I think that's one of the good things to have a support system. I
Mm.
think whether it's family or a boyfriend or a partner or even your housemate, is you have to have a group of people you talk to, and help you out with structural. Because when you're in the business, you're doing the day-to-day orders, and sometimes you don't even really think about the stress you're under, right?
Totoo. Totoo.
Yeah, you think it's good because you're getting money, but at the end of the day, if you're getting stressed, you won't have yourself or energy to do your business. So we have some here other questions. How did you keep the meatloaf moist?
Should I say? Should I say?
Or
Or
how do you
say?
keep meat moist? Like,
Um, maraming liquid components dyan sa meatloaf na yan to keep it juicy. And one of it is Meron siyang konting, hindi, meron siyang konting pineapple juice, and
Yeah.
yung iba secret ingredient, and yung tagal niya sa steamer. So ayun, parang I think lahat yon ang
Yeah.
reason bakit siya super moist.
I mean, it does help. I've seen like the last demo we did with Chef Jasper. What was he making? It was, I think it was lengua, and he did say that some people they put Coke in the lengua to keep that, the moisture. And then I know a lot of people that do orange juice, um, pineapple juice.
Pineapple juice.
So there's many ways to go about keeping meat moist, or some people brine meat as well. If you want to ask her, if you really want to ask her, look for an Instagram and ask for tips. But ito pa, meron pa tayong mga questions. What sauce do you recommend? Do you use on the meatloaf? And what other sauces would you recommend to pair with the meatloaf?
My number one preference with the meatloaf is yung sweet and chili sauce that you usually use for dipping sa lumpia.
Okay.
Para sa akin, it goes perfectly with meatloaf.
Okay.
Yun ang number one ko. Yung iba naman, syempre ketchup pa din. Banana ketchup to be exact. Wala pa rin tatalo. So ayun, those two are my
Not,
favorites.
nothing, you can have really delicious fancy food, restaurant food, but I do still see people that they eat spam at the
Yes,
end of the day,
yes, at the end of the day.
or sardinas, or comfort food for other people. So, okay, sweet chili sauce or ketchup or mustard also. We have more questions. Any advice for budding food business owners who are on the verge of giving up?
Ay,
Like,
nako, I like that question. Kasi I was in the verge of giving up last month. Siguro, yung kanina sinabi mo, Miss Bea, a good support system is a must. It's important.
yeah,
Surround yourself with positive people who really believes in what you do.
okay.
That's the number one. Tapos number two, stop adding pressure to yourself, lalo na being in this kind of business is already super duper dami ng pressure. Like what I did, nung gumagawa, I started with sushi bake and goji bake, and then I ridiculed myself. Sabi ko, baka ano iniisip ng mga tao because they always mention that I'm from CCA. Yung iba pa, they call me chef. Eh, layo ko pa sa pagiging chef. Parang yung pressure na parang dapat meron akong something gourmet, something fancy na ilabas kagad dun sa business ko or i-offer. Pero don't do that. Parang relax lang. Kaya nga ako nauwi sa meatloaf is because my mom and my husband told me to keep it simple. Keep it within your comfort zone first. And then matitikman naman nila and malalasahan naman nila na kahit simple yon, you really put your heart into it. So, ayun.
Yeah. So definitely keep it simple. I think this is the lesson of life right now with the pandemic. When the lockdown happened, you realize a lot of things you don't really need. And I also think that just because you went to CCA doesn't mean you have to be fancy food. Because look at now, all the fine dining restaurants are having to translate their food to comfort food, like burgers, ano pa ba, fried chicken,
Even
packed
sushi.
meals.
Hmm.
Yeah. So keep it simple, make sure it's delicious, and then you can grow from there.
Yes.
Um, yeah. Ito pa, may mga question pa. Benedict. Hi, Benedict. We miss you. He always goes to the campus and says hello.
Benedict.
Any tips for being masipag and not being lazy for having a food business? Ayan. Maganda yan. Mag-give ka nga.
Ako, paminsan talaga, honestly, I'm lazy in doing, with a lot of things, I'm lazy with a lot of things. Pero with cooking, it's like automatic. Parang pagka meron akong kailangan lutuin, I wake up at 4 a.m. and it doesn't bother me. Okay lang ako. Siguro, wala naman talagang secret how to be masipag. You're supposed to be passionate in what you're doing and then it will come naturally.
Yeah, definitely. Also, Benedict, there's a book called Atomic Habits. I really do recommend it to everyone. It basically means, like, what they're saying is, I have it on my phone para maalala ko sa wallpaper ko. It's make it obvious, make it, ay, sandali lang nga. Nawala. Nasa wallpaper ko. Wait. make it obvious, um, make it attractive, make it easy, make it satisfying. So those four stages is every day, just do it again and again, kahit 30 minutes, 1 hour. After 1 year, you're gonna progress and your business is gonna be so much better. So let's say today you're making meatloaf, next year you could be making, I don't know, pate, charcuterie, different other products or other Filipino products. So yun, just try something every day and don't make an excuse. So yun, diba? Kasi may mga tao like, I can't do this because I don't have a mixer. I can't make, I can't create this food because I don't have an oven or the nicest pasta maker.
Actually.
Diba?
Mm. Pero when your excuses, ibig sabihin you're not that passionate, you don't really want it. Because
Yeah,
sabi nga nila, di ba, if gusto mo talaga, laging may paraan. And
yeah, for
that's
sure.
true.
So yan, Benedict, sana magising ka every day ng 6 a.m. Training at the CCA though, diba? I'm sure Benedict remembers that. You have to start, we always tell them you start at 6 a.m. Or what time did you guys start, Mika? Medyo later.
CCA,
Yeah.
o
Anong
minsan,
start?
nagigising ako ng 4 a.m. pa dati because I live dito sa South eh. Tapos, di ba, CCA is way sa North. Kaya talagang super gising agad ako ng 4 a.m. I
Pero
remember, mm,
anong oras ka natutulog?
9,
9. Okay,
or
so a
8,
lot. Yeah.
like then,
Okay, what is here? Another question. What's the most fun you've cooked? Food you've cooked. Sorry.
pinaka-fun. Kasi nag-enjoy ako na lutuin, gano'n, no? Um, I think pizza.
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 Okay.
So when I tried making pizza, it was really fun. You know, trying to flip the dough na parang pinangarap ko gawin in one day. It's not possible, by the way. So,
Mahirap siya. Mahirap siya. And
so I tried.
yeah.
Mga ilang dough din yung, hindi sila okay.
Pero okay lang yun, diba? To make mistakes and you know what? Okay lang yun. You have to try. You have to keep trying until parang you gain the confidence in the kitchen. Like, I'm sure, do you still get stressed in the kitchen, Mika?
Super.
Now?
Speaking of mistakes, yun yung stressful actually, Miss Bea. Nung una kasi, hindi mo naman may iwasan magkamali. So, makakarinig ka talaga ng mga criticisms or puna. Buti na lang, my first customers are usually family and friends. So they're very honest about it. They're very gentle in telling kung ano yung saan ako nagkamali or saan ako naglalak.
Yeah.
Pero syempre, kahit ganun, maaano mo din yung sarili mo na parang, bakit nakalagpas sa akin yun? Ba't di ko yun na-notice? May mga ganun-ganun factor. Pero what I learned is if you parang pag binabaran mo yung mistakes mo, you'll never grow. So you just have to accept it and then try hanggang sa makuha mo yung tama.
Yeah, for
Mm.
sure. This is why I think you should have a YouTube channel.
Hindi ayoko
Oh, but,
magpakita sa video.
parang, I mean, like, I don't know if it's the wine or mas na-relax na tayong dalawa, but I think being genuine about how you feel about the mistakes and the feedback is always something people want to hear. So, I encourage you to do it. Just try it out. Welcome people to your home eventually when you're ready. Because natatawa talaga ako sa mga comments mo sa IG. Um, we also have a faculty member like that, Chef Anne. When she does her mga demos, it's really real. Kasi yun naman ang nangyayari sa bahay. You don't have foie gras, you don't have the best wine. Sometimes nakakalimutan ka. So, there. Ayan, may mga questions pa tayo. Um, before we jump to the next question, Benedict said, oo naman, dapat maparaan tayo. Okay, sige, go lang.
Yes.
Eto, may question tayo. Jane Castandiello, how
Yes,
do you
my friend.
how do you distress and rest after cooking orders? Yan, napaka-importante yan.
I distress by eating other people's food naman. Makikita mo, I order from a lot of small businesses as well, and that's how I distress. I enjoy other
Yeah.
people's food. So
What's your favorite so far that you tasted?
I love Amaze cookies. by
Okay.
Sheena Godoy. That's my sister-in-law. De, pero sa totoo lang, it's really delicious. And then, yung Air Buns, I don't know if you heard about it, Air Buns 320.
Not yet.
Those are
Marami
simple.
na kasi. Ang dami, which is why it's exciting. Because everyone has their own community, diba?
Mhm.
I can't keep up.
It's like, the feeling is like you're eating at a friend's house every single time you ordered your food. Kasi homemade eh. You know that it's homemade. Nasa bahay lang sila.
Yeah, of
So,
course. Ayan, meron pa tayong mga comments. Go for the YouTube channel, Sis Meeka. Ayan, may nag-encourage
congrats.
mo sa'yo. Go
Yes.
na. Ayan, sama mo si mommy. You know what, like, you can watch Chrissy Teigen.
Yes.
Yeah,
Pero
so,
dun lang sa Netflix show na nakita ko siya.
yeah,
Meron ba
meron,
siyang YouTube channel?
so si John Legend, your husband can be like John Legend.
John
And then your
Legend.
mom, go lang. Mga one video a month.
Pero
Try mo.
supportive siya, Miss Bea. Binilan niya ako ng camera. May camera na, may mic na.
Yeah.
And then, ginagawa ko na siya for like 2 days. And then, nung nakita ko yung sarili ko sa camera, sabi ko, no. Parang ko, I can't keep fixing my hair every day and
Yeah.
making sure that I look good. It's not
Someone
my
Because someone did ask me, like, if when I post something on Instagram, do I check the likes?
Mhm.
Maybe when I was younger, we all do that. I know Instagram has taken that out so that people don't get depressed with it. But what I particularly love about social media is you start conversations with people.
Yeah, me too.
So, di ba, we converse through Instagram about a pasta maker I don't need, but I
Yeah.
want. So, I think if you do start your YouTube channel, it's a good start to connect with people online and they'll relate to you or you can learn from them. So, sobrang convinced ka sa'yo na sumala sa YouTube.
Natatawa yung asawa ko, sabi niya, yes, yung camera, di masasayang.
Ito pa, may mga, ayan, I second the YouTube channel. Okay, let's do a vote off. So, your family and
Oh,
friends.
lahat sila nandiyan. Yes, sagot nila.
Okay, si Chef Philip, he also joined us. Bravo, happy Friday. Sorry, Chef Philip, we're a bit late today, but we made it. Bambi is still watching your doctor.
Hi, Doc.
Another one said, so proud of you inaanak. Si Sheena, ayan, cookies. Yun nagbebenta ng cookies.
Yeah, she's my sister-in-law.
I just want to,
Have to try.
ayan, I want to ask, sino po ang favorite chef nyo?
Locally, or wow, may ganun pa, no? Old school ako, pag international favorite ko si Chef, Ina Garten.
He's,
Oh,
he's fantastic though.
diba? Woman next to my heart. Charot. Hindi kasi sobrang talaga siya, sobrang chill lang niya, casual. It's like you're watching your grandma pag
Yeah.
pinapanood mo siya.
Local.
Locally naman, I admire, I don't know kung chef ba talaga si Chef Happy Ong Pao ko. I like her style.
And she always looks good.
Yeah.
Diba? I don't know kung pinapawisan ba siya. Feeling ko hindi.
Diba? Parang lagi siyang mabango, Chef. Totoo ba nagluto ka ng lapu-lapu kanina? Parang gusto ko itanong sa kanya.
Kasi diba, parang nagluto nga tayo ng sandwich, medyo pinawisan na ako. Pero siya parang palagi siyang
Fresh.
clean. Yeah.
Hmm.
Naka-made up. I wonder nga kung may glam team siya. But, yan. Oh, may mga excited talaga. Simbe, hi Mix. Great job and miss seeing you cook at the Grand Kitchen of CCA.
Who's that?
Si Miss May, marketing manager ng CCA.
Ay, hello. Hello po.
Meron namin. Ayan. Oh, isa pa.
Ayan, Miss Me.
Go, go, go. Puro go na lang. Okay. Thank you for joining us. I have one question in terms of, hindi na tayo magra-rapid fire question kasi ang raming mga tanong ng mga guests mo. So, what is the one trend you wish would go away?
Food, sa food ba to, Miss?
Yeah.
I don't like, pwede ba, hindi naman talaga to food, or medyo food din. I don't like when, yung nauso yung parang yung mga milkshake na maraming nakalagay, or they even make those parang
The
food
fruit
na they
shake.
put a lot of stuff in it. Una sa lahat, hindi na siya, kasi I'm all about the perfect bite eh. Una sa lahat, hindi ko na siya mabite kasi laki niya na. And then there's like a lot of things going on in there. You don't
Yeah.
understand it anymore. Food's
Yeah.
supposed to be simple kahit papano. You
I
should
love that.
respect all the ingredients.
Definitely simple. I think you should explore the market or suppliers. Who are your favorite suppliers? Like, how do you get your ingredients?
Meron akong supplier, they're called the Pacific. Pag sa baking, yung Pacific Foods
Yeah.
for all the baking needs that I need. And then cold storage, lagi pag doon sa sushi bake. And I have a seafood supplier. They don't have a business name, but they're from multinational. Super
Okay.
fresh ng seafood nila.
Yeah.
Yung iba, I go to the grocery talaga. Hindi
Of
ako
course.
masyado nagpapalengke right now because, di ba medyo delikado and the food is exposed. So
Yeah.
I go to the grocery na lang.
It's one of the things like that is a little bit dangerous to go out and about. It's a good thing people deliver nowadays. Um, how do you keep in touch with your classmates at ICDE?
Yes, Miss Bea. Lalo na yung mga baby bros ko dyan, sila RJ, are you watching guys? Charot, bigla naging chill. Bigla naging chill. Then sila, andyan lang yun eh, hindi nagsasalita. Sila
Yeah.
RJ, Harry, Sebi, those are my three baby brothers.
I love
Always.
Sebi. Sebi is like I just smile every time I see him. We don't talk that much, but I swear he makes me smile.
Sino
Yeah.
dyan? Sino dyan, Miss Bea?
Si Sebi,
Teddy bear yan. Yan
hindi
ang
naman crush, but like, parang na-amuse lang ako sa kanya, parang tuwang-tuwa siya palagi.
station mate ko yan. Kung nakakasama mo yan sa kitchen, Miss Bea, super funny kasi he do a lot of impressions. Hindi ko kaya gayahin. Basta super fun katabi.
I think when you cook in the kitchen with a bunch of people, you do build rapport. So my recommendation is whether you're throwing a small group of party, like 5 people, get them to help you cook.
Mm-hmm.
Para may interaction. Kasi sometimes kakain lang, nasa cellphone, but I think cooking can be a very social activity.
Totoo.
In your kitchen, ikaw lang ba nagluluto diyan or tulungan? How does it work?
Ako lang ang nagkukook dito and I'm usually assisted by my 15-year-old cousin and the two kids na nakikita mo sa Instagram. My
You're
niece and
very
my
cute.
biggest sister. Yeah, they call themselves the little chefs. Sila lang gumawa nun. Hindi ko naman pinangalan sa kanila. Talagang self-proclaimed silang
Are they
dalawa.
watching? Are they there now?
They're
Alik
upstairs making sure na naka ano din sila sa phone nila para daw madaming views. Sobrang supportive nilang dalawa.
thank you for joining us on this Friday. Meeka, any last piece of advice for people that are getting into the kitchen or business?
I just have to say as a disclaimer, I have to humbly say na I think I'm not yet in the position to give an advice because I'm also starting just like you. But if there's anything that I could share as a friend, believe in yourself. That's the most important thing because that's what I lack. So dapat may confidence ka. How can others believe in what you do if you don't believe in yourself? So yun lang.
Definitely. I love what you combine. It's believing in yourself, being humble, and being a friend to others because that's important in the kitchen. So I do thank you and your family for joining us. Sige,
Thank you,
can
Sis.
they join us in the screen one
Wait,
last
wait,
time?
wait. Mami. Natatawa ka lagi. Trish, come here. Come here.
Pabay na.
Ba't ayaw mo lumapit? Ako nga yung naiiyak dahil I'm taller than you.
Thank you. Mukhang saya-saya kayo dyan sa
Thank you.
your mommy. Nandyan ba si mommy? Ay,
Yeah, sila.
hello. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Bea.
Stay healthy and I appreciate all your feedback. Napaka-positive. So,
Kayo ba yung
what
nagtatanong? Kayo ba yung...
one last question. I mean, how do they keep in touch with you? How do they order and even start a conversation with you?
Telephone.
With Mina's Kitchen,
Yeah, with you as a business owner and even Mina's Kitchen.
they DM me lang. I'm always available on the DMs. Just DM me. You can talk to me through Instagram and
Thank
Facebook.
you.
Thank you
Sobrang
so
hindi
much.
halata na shy ka.
Shy ako kasi nakawine tayo, Miss Bea. Sobrang thank you for allowing me
I
to
know.
introduce
Usually,
sa
matagal ko
interview.
na lang iniisip. Kasi lang yung segment namin 10 a.m., right? So, napaka surprising naman kung mag 10 a.m. tayong wine. So 2 p.m. is acceptable. So thank you so much. We should organize a wine tasting with one of our wine partners in CCA. Maybe I'll ask you to join so we can learn something online.
Thank you, Miss
But
E.
enjoy the meatloaf, and I will enjoy the meatloaf you sent me. So have a good weekend. Long weekend
And
ngayon, diba?
also,
Yeah, so thank you. And we'll just read out the last comments. Congrats. Go, go, go YouTube channel. See, sabi ko sa'yo, mag-YouTube ka na. And
babalik din ulit.
Mami Lima yun.
we'll see you in the campus very soon, and I hopefully September.
Thank you so much. I would just like to greet my
Oh yeah,
mother-in-law.
for sure. For sure.
Always
Go.
orders a lot of my food. Hi, mommy. Mommy Wilma, I love you. Thank you for everything.
Go
Yeah.
That's
Kurt.
it. Thank you
Go
so
Kurt. Go
much.
Kurt.
Okay, take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye.